Hi friends, I am Dr. Manuel. So today we will discuss an important topic that is relevant in the current scenario. That is, it's monsoon in Kerala, right? So, and the monsoon related diseases are also on the increase. We will discuss one among them, that is regarding dengue fever. This is our contact details. So let's start our discussion. It is also known as break-born fever. We will discuss why later. It's an infectious tropical disease and it is caused by dengue virus. It is a viral disease. Its mortality is only 1 to 5% without treatment. And apart from eliminating mosquitoes, work is ongoing on a vaccine as well as a medication targeted directly at the virus. It is a vector-borne disease, that is, it is spread through mosquitoes, mosquito bite. So, apart from eliminating that, work is on progress to find out a vaccine or a medication targeted against that. Dengue fever virus, that is DEN. It is an RNA virus of family Flaviviridae and it belongs to the genus Flavivirus. And there are 4 types of virus which are called serotypes, and these are referred as, that is DEN1, DEN2, DEN3 and DEN4. And infections with one of the serotypes is believed to produce lifelong immunity to that serotype. Okay. Now coming to transmission, we have discussed that it is transmitted by the bite of mosquitoes. That is, it is transmitted by several species of mosquito within the same species, within the genus, that is Aedes. Principally, it is transmitted by Aedes aegypti. They primarily bite during the daytime, and humans are the primary host of virus. Also, there is proven facts that it is this disease is present in other mammals also, but humans are the primary host of this virus. And infection can be acquired by a single bite. And this virus dwells in the salivary gland of mosquitoes and is subsequently released in saliva. So picture showing Aedes aegypti. Now coming to its pathogenesis, that is how this disease affects our body and where all it gets affected. First, mosquito carrying dengue bites a person. Then a virus enters the skin through the mosquito saliva. We have discussed earlier that it dwells in the mosquito saliva. So it enters the skin and it binds to and enters the WBC. That is one of the components in the blood. And it enters the WBC and produces and they move throughout the body. As blood moves throughout the body, it moves throughout the body. And in severe infection, that is if amount of virus that enter the body is very high, many organs, that is liver and bone marrow, can also be affected. Also, the fluid leaks from bloodstream through the wall of the small blood vessels into the body cavities. So, as the fluid comes out through the blood vessels, less blood circulates in the blood vessels and it leads to low blood pressure. So, as a result, the blood supply to the vital organs are compromised. We have discussed earlier that in severe cases, bone marrow can also be affected. Bone marrow dysfunction leads to reduced number of platelets and it leads to increased risk of bleeding. That is, platelet is essential to control the bleeding, that is for platelet plug formation. But in case of bone marrow dysfunction, platelets are reduced and hence there will be increased chance of bleeding. This is the replication and transmission cycle. That is, mosquito enters the transmit dengue to the human dendritic cells. That is, incubation period is 1 to 2 weeks. It enters the human body, targets the WBC, and it enters the WBC and virus enters the circulation. This is a picture showing this transmission cycle. Now coming to signs and symptoms. That is, what are all the symptoms caused by this virus? Mostly it will be asymptomatic, or there will be only mild symptoms, that is such as uncomplicated fever. That is 80% of the cases it will be present like this. Incubation period ranges from 3 to 14 days. Incubation period means from the entry of virus into the body till the first symptom appears. It ranges from 3 to 14 days, but most often it will be present between 4 to 7 days. Sudden onset fever, headache, muscle and joint pains, and a rash. These are the most characteristic symptoms of dengue fever. That is fever, headache, muscle and joint pains, and a specific rash. We have called dengue fever as break-bone fever. It is called so as it causes headache, it causes muscle and joint pains. So it is called break-bone fever. It's a picture showing the symptoms. It can cause headache is mostly retroorbital, so it can be felt as eye pain, headache, then muscle pain, rashes, nausea, vomiting, bone pain and joint pain. It's a characteristic rash or spots. That is, we have earlier discussed that there will be bone marrow dysfunction, and as a result platelet will be reduced. So there will be chance of mucosal or bleeds elsewhere in the skin. Can be seen as this spots all over the body. Now, in small proportion of cases, the disease develops into life-threatening dengue hemorrhagic fever. That is, it results into bleeding, low levels of blood platelets and plasma leakage. And in some other cases, it develops into dengue shock syndrome, where there will be dangerously low BP. Now coming to warning signs of dengue. I am going to discuss some of the important symptoms of dengue. These are very important. That is, if these symptoms occurs in a patient suspecting dengue, it is essential to go to the hospital and take essential treatment. That is, abdominal pain, ongoing vomiting, that is, vomiting is not stopping, then liver enlargement, mucosal bleeding, high hematocrit with low platelets. Hematocrit means PCV, that is fat cell volume, then lethargy. These are some of the important warning signs, and we should be very aware of it. And if any of this develop, we should consult a nearby hospital. Now, the main course of infection is divided mainly into 3 phases. That is, febrile phase, critical phase, and recovery phase. This is a picture showing the symptoms of dengue fever. Febrile phase comes first in dengue fever. It presents as in febrile phase there will be sudden onset fever, there will be headache, mouth and nose bleeding, muscle and joint pains, vomiting, rash and diarrhea. It can stand up to 1 to 2 days, and after that it can sometimes by febrile phase itself the dengue fever weans off, or if it is left untreated, it can go into critical phase. In critical phase there will be plasma leakage, that is we have discussed earlier. That is, the plasma will be leaked from blood vessels, resulting in dangerously low hypotension, and this fluid can get collected into abdominal cavity, leading to ascites. Also can enter the pleura and lead to pleural effusion. Pleura is the lining of the lungs, so pleural effusion can occur. And since there will be low platelet count, we can have a danger of GI bleeding, that is gastrointestinal bleeding. If it is properly treated, it can go into recovery phase, where Also, we have to be alert of the recovery phase also. That is, in recovery phase, there the leaked plasma is getting back into the bloodstream, and so there will be increased, that is, can go into an overload situation. So it can slow the heart rate, seizures can occur, there will be itching, and there will be altered level of consciousness. So friends, so this much we have discussed about dengue fever. Now we have to discuss about management and treatment and management. We will discuss about it later in the next class. So that's all for the day. Thank you friends, thank you for watching us, and have a nice day.